Hey there, design lovers! Are you ready to dive into the world of small yet stylish dining spaces? In our latest video, Transform Your Tiny Dining Room 75 Stunning Ideas, we are going to uncover 75 incredible ideas that will help you revamp your limited space into a stunning modern dining area. I mean, who said small can be beautiful? Lulu Stamate here, your narrator for today's video. First off, let me just say you don't need a mansion to showcase your impeccable taste. With the right furniture choices and smart placement, your pin-sized dining room can shine brightly. We'll explore clever layouts, chic decor, and trendy color palettes that make a world of difference. Trust me, once you see the transformation, you'll be itching to make some changes. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are there any tips that have worked for you in your own tiny dining room? Maybe you have a favorite color combo or a chic piece that you think makes all the difference. Just drop your ideas in the comments after watching. So, grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's transform that tiny dining room together. You might even find yourself feeling inspired to redecorate on the spot. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing design tips. Happy decorating, everyone! Let's kick things off with this little gem of a dining nook, proof that small can still feel downright luxurious. The round table keeps the flow easy, the plush chairs invite you to linger, and that vase of peonies, instant mood lifter. What's the secret sauce? Smart scale and symmetry, nothing's oversized, everything's intentional, so the space breathes. Soft light from those sheer curtains wraps it all in a cozy glow, the kind that makes you want to sip coffee and lose track of time. With this image, we start our presentation, and honestly, it's already setting the bar high.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. When the story is told, everyone knows. When the story is told, everyone knows. Knows. When the story is told, everyone knows. When the story is told, everyone knows.
Here's the thing, this little dining nook doesn't just work, it wows. The tucked corner bench hugs the space, making it feel intimate without feeling cramped, while the glass-top table keeps things airy and light. Layer in those soft woven shades, a splash of pink peonies, and boom, you've got cozy and chic in one breath. The real hack, mixing built-in setting with slim, elegant furniture, so every inch earns its keep, is the kind of spot where wine lingers in the glass and conversation stretch past midnight. And honestly, isn't that the dream?
Everyone knows.
Is proof that small doesn't mean skimpy. It means smart. This dining nook feels downright luxurious thanks to a few clever moves. That round glass table keeps sightline open, the metallic base adds sparkle, and the black weighted chairs bring a dash of drama. Natural light floods in, bouncing off sleek surfaces, while pops of green and yellow keep it fresh and alive. The real hack, mixing every materials with bold accents so the space feels both open and intentional. It's the kind of room that makes you linger over coffee and maybe dessert too.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
There is a quiet confidence to this little dining spot. It doesn't shout for attention, yet it's effortlessly stylish. Warm wood, soft upholstery, and that burns the yellow blooms create a space that feels both polished and personal. The real magic, smart space-saving moves like the bench that tucks it neatly, keeping things open and airy without sacrificing comfort. It's once again proof that small spaces can still feel generous, inviting, and ready for everything from a quick breakfast to a long, slow dinner.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. When the story is told, everyone knows. When the story is told, everyone knows. When the story is told, everyone knows. When the story is told,
Some rooms just wrap you up with the second you step in, and this one's got that magic. The crisp white table, chic chairs, and those bold red blooms feel fresh yet warm, while the woven pendant and dark green curtains add depth and texture. The clever bit, everything scaled just right. Round tables, slim chairs, and layered lighting keep it open but intimate. It's proof you don't need a mansion to dine in style, just more choices and a dash of personality. Now, tell me, wouldn't breakfast here feel like a little daily celebration?
everyone knows. When the story is told, everyone knows.
These dining rooms got that small but mighty vibe down pat. The sleek black table, plush green bench, and those punchy pink blooms make it feel modern yet warm. Here's the trick. They keep the palette tight and the furniture streamlined so nothing feels heavy or cluttered. Natural light and a few luxe touches like the gold chandelier do the rest. It's cozy because every element feels intentional, like it's been curated just for you. Honestly, wouldn't a glass of wine taste better in a space that looks this put together?
When the story is told, everyone knows. When the story is told, everyone knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. When the story is told, 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 everyone knows.
You know that feeling when a room just gets it? This dining space does. The sleek gray table, cushy chairs, and that pop of fresh wild flowers, blooms make it feel polished yet welcoming. The trick? Symmetry and light. Matching chairs, airy shelving, and share curtains that let sunshine pour in, keeping it open and bright. The crystal-kissed chandelier adds just enough glam without overpowering the room. It's cozy because everything's balanced, intentional, and easy on the eyes. Proof that small can still feel grand. Now, tell me, wouldn't the dinner here feel like an occasion every single night?
Everyone knows. When the story is told, everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Small space, big personality. This dining corner nails that sweet spot between cozy and classy. Think glass top table, keeping things light, share curtains, pulling in sunshine, and those lush pink blooms stealing the show. The gold pendant adds just enough sparkle to feel special without tipping into trying too hard. Everything's scared to breathe, so instead of cramped, it feels like a warm invitation. It's the kind of place where you lose track of time over coffee and pastries, and honestly, isn't that the best kind of luxury?
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. When the story is told, 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 everyone knows.
Ending on a high note here, the last presented image is proof that small spaces can still feel effortlessly luxe. The round table keeps the flow easy. The light wood floor and soft rug warm things up. And that hit of greenery makes it feel alive. But the real design hack? Everything's curated, not cluttered. Each piece earns its place, so the room breathes. The metallic base and the art above the sideboard, it's just enough polish to make it chic without losing the come sit stay a while vibe. Cozy, stylish, and totally livable. And if you've enjoyed this one, you'll want to see the rest of the video. There is plenty more inspiration waiting.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
As we reach the conclusion of our video, Transform Your Tiny Dining Room 75 Stunning Ideas, I hope you feel inspired and ready to take on the challenge of maximizing your space. With all these sleek designs and clever tips, your small dining area can be transformed into a stylish cabin that's not just functional but also feels incredibly inviting. Remember, it's all about finding that perfect balance between aesthetics and practicality. So, whether it's choosing the right furniture or that chic, eye catching centerpiece, you can create a dining room that truly reflects your personality. If you ever feel overwhelmed, just think back to some of the ideas we shared. There is something for every style. Your dining room doesn't have to be boring just because it's small. We want to hear from you. What's your favorite idea from the video? Or maybe you have a tiny dining room trick of your own. Don't hesitate to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's build a community around creativity and innovation in our living spaces. And if you loved what you saw, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing for more insightful content like this. Trust me, there is plenty more inspiration where that comes from. Until next time, remember that your small space has huge potential. Get creative, have fun, and transform that dining area into a place where memories are made. See you in our next video. Bye now.